Hello, welcome back to the RPG Academy podcast, Twitch stream, and YouTube channel. I again am Michael. For some reason, my mic's way over here. Don't know what that was about. I'm dumb. So let's start this over. Hello, and welcome to the RPG Academy podcast. My brain is not working this morning. One more time. Hello, and welcome to the RPG Academy podcast, Twitch stream, and YouTube channel. I, of course, am Michael. I, of course, have really bad internet, but every now and then it seems to work well enough to let me do some streaming. And currently, my kids, who are on homeschool because of the coronavirus social distancing stuff, is also allowing me a few moments to have the computer and have enough internet stream bandwidth. So I'm going to try to play some more Final Fantasy today. If you're out there and want to say hello, please do. Would love to chat with you. But if not, I'm just going to play a little bit. Last time, we got through the Earth Cave, which is our first basic boss. We fought the Lich. And now, in the story of the game, we should be heading to Crescent Town or Crescentville, something like that, Crescent Lake, which I'm going to go to, get the canoe. The canoe then allows me to access a lot of new places, including the volcano, which is where the second of our main bosses lives. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sort of go sideways here, and my goal for the next section, I don't know how long it'll take, is to go ahead and get promoted. And within the game, this is kind of like the prestige classes. There's some challenges you have to do. And if you are successful, then you can get, quote unquote, promoted by Bahamut. And like my fighter becomes a knight, my black belt becomes a master, and my mages become wizards. And there's generally a pretty substantial power boost that comes when you do that. And as I mentioned before, I have no empirical evidence that this is true. But I feel like it's true that if I get promoted early and then have more levels after promotion than before promotion, that over time, that power level will get higher. So, for example, if I have 40 levels total, but when I beat the game, I'm at level 40. If 20 of those levels were before I was promoted and 20 was after, I feel like that character would not be as strong as if I get 15 levels before and 25 after. As I said, I've never had the gumption to actually test that by doing two different versions of the game using the same exact characters, because even then I've noticed there's some variability to how powerful they get and when, at least from my playthroughs. I can't say that I've broken it down in enough detail to know for sure. So we've basically, now we're ready to go to, I think it's Crescent Village, Lake Crescent, something like that. So if you look on the map, down at the sort of the bottom right, there's a little bit of yellow. That's a desert. And just above that, you'll see a blinking light. A blinking light means there's someplace there to go. And you can see that sort of crescent-shaped water. That's Crescent Lake. That's where I'm heading. I hope everyone that is potentially watching now or in the future is well. Hopefully the social distancing is going well for you. I'm a believer in it. I don't think this is a hoax. I do think this is something we should be taking serious. As someone who myself is considered high risk, definitely don't want to die. So I'm happy to be locked at home. Now, for me, it wasn't a huge change. I was already a stay-at-home dad, though having my kids home every day, that is a bit of a change, which I'm cool. I like my kids. They're pretty cool kids. But again, if you've been watching through the streams, part of my streaming was the fact that I had the house to myself, every day from like 9 till 3. And I carved out a little bit of time not long after I got them to school to do this. And I can't do that anymore because, again, they're home all the time. So I'm happy they're here. I'm happy we're all safe, but it does stink that I had just started to get into a routine and then that routine got completely upended. Well, hello, Tom. Thank you for joining me. I am just. Have you ever played Final Fantasy, the first one, Tom? I don't think I've ever talked to you. I know I'm pretty much older than you, so I don't know if this is something that you've ever experienced or not. Okay, so I don't know. I played the first three Final Fantasies, the ones on Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Then I stopped. I did not care for any of the ones that were later. I know that makes me a blasphemer, but so I don't know if it's the same in the other games or not. But in this one, you get promoted at a certain point. Basically, it's like a prestige class for D&D 3.5, and I'm trying to basically jump ahead and do that now, which is earlier than I should be doing it. We'll see how well this goes because I'm probably going to end up dying a whole lot, which will require some hard reboots. So I didn't talk to all those dudes. Basically, they gave me some backstory on what's going on. World's falling apart. It's bad. And they gave me the canoe. And the canoe, what level am I? 13? Yep. The canoe will let me get to places that I couldn't get to before, including where I need to go to get what I need to do to get promoted. So we're going to buy some heal potions because I'm definitely going to need those. Well, I appreciate that. The timing today is a little bit off. It's not any of the times I've normally done this before, but this was the time that I could do it. The kids are currently occupied, and the internet seems to be working at least well enough for the moment. So far, I've been green the whole time. So I wanted to see if I could get a little bit of streaming in. Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I think, I got the newest Marvel Legendary set, Heroes of Asgard. So I've got them all sleeved, and I've done one playthrough, and it's okay. It's not great. It's not my favorite by any stretch. There's a couple odd things about it that I'm not really a huge fan of, but a couple more playthroughs, I might have a more solid opinion of it. And I know this is a total Michael thing, and I'm a heathen, but I haven't read a whole lot of comics lately. I've been much more involved in the MCU, and the artwork, doesn't match the MCU. Like, I would much rather see Tess Thompson as Valkyrie than the Valkyrie we got on the cards. So that's just a little bit disappointing. But just the gameplay that they've added doesn't do a whole lot for me. Whoops. I probably should have, hold on. Need to go to the inn and make sure I'm rested up. I have no idea if I'm using the new Twitch mod view. I have no idea. So probably not. Though the way I have my game set up, because I am using the emulator to play, I have to have the emulator on top or I can't play the game. Like, if I click any other windows, it freezes. So pretty much no matter what I do, I'm going to be looking at the emulator screen. So for example, if I click over here, oops, and yep, everything froze. Whoops. So somebody's poisoned. That stinks. Though it does show I have the screens layered where it does look like there are two people currently watching, and I'm pretty sure that's me and you. So, hi. I have a couple people who have been joining fairly on the regular, but just without being able to announce what we were doing, and this being an odd time, I'm not sure if we can count on anybody else joining us today. Okay. So, here's where things get interesting. So one of the things that you have to do to get promoted is you have to go to this castle. And again, if you look at the map, pretty much in the middle, at the very top, there's that sort of string of islands that, that kind of make like a little loop-de-loop. And then right past the islands on the continent again, there's a little dot there. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. I can't point at it, unfortunately. So that is a castle that you can only get to by the ship, or the canoe. Because later, I'm going to get an airship. And the airship lets me go a lot of places. But you have to have a place to land. There's no place to land, so you have to get there by canoe. And that is where you have to go through your trials of courage to prove that you're worthy to Bahamut to get promoted. So basically, it's a dungeon you have to go through. And at the end, there's something you get in the last room, the last treasure chest. And that's what you need to take to Bahamut to show him that says, hey, look, I am cool. You should make me much more powerful. So once I have that, I can get promoted. However, I cannot get to Bahamut until I have the airship. And you can't get the airship until you complete a different dungeon, which is one of the hardest in the game. And I'm going to be going to it a lot earlier than I should. So I'm fairly confident. I'm 70-30 that I'll be able to get through this dungeon to get the thing I need from the treasure chest. Though it is harder if I can't let any of my people die, because that makes it a little bit different. But getting through the ice cavern, which is where you get the float stone, and the float stone is what lets you get the airship, and the airship's what let me talk to Bahamut. That one's hard, and there's a really good chance I'm going to die a whole bunch. So for today, just because I only have a limited amount of time, I'm just going to try to get through this dungeon. So if I can get to the end of this one, get what I need, get out, I'm going to consider that a huge win. Take the W and go home. So we need to go in fully rested and healed up. Whoops, that's not what I want. So we'll use our tent. All right. So now we're entering into this. There's a little guy here. I'll tell you, hey, this is you have to have the crown, which you can't get here unless you have the crown. But anyways, this is a trial of courage. This is the only way to go. And there's a throne. I step on the throne and it transports me into the dungeon. Now, until this point, I couldn't get attacked. That first level, there's no bad guys. Here, lots of bad guys. The first thing you have to go through is this sort of puzzle maze where obviously you see there's no obvious exits to this room here. So to get out, I have to touch this pedestal and it will take me to another area. Now, first couple of these, kind of easy. There's really only one choice. Now there's multiple choices. If you choose wrong, it takes you back to a designated spot. So it's always the same spot if you get it wrong. So we don't want to get these wrong because that will maximize the amount of time we have to spend in this place. And I am not strong enough to not get murderized really quickly if I start fighting a whole bunch of stuff. So Zombuls should be able to win this one. Going to use a little magic here. Use my harm spell. And I'll use a fire too. So it looks like another couple people have joined, so welcome. If you feel like jumping in chat, please do let us know. But if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine as well. Just playing through some original Final Fantasy. It's one of my favorite games as a kid. I don't expect that I'm going to do anything remarkable. Like I'm not probably going to teach anybody good strategies. This is just for fun and mostly to chat about other stuff, honestly. So if anybody wants to talk about movies or other video games or board games, TV shows, whatever, that's what I'm here for. That's what I hopefully bring to the table. And again, I'm trying to get my characters promoted. I'm in this dungeon a lot earlier than I should be. So we're going to see if I can survive. Now, to this point, the secret has always been to get the closest pedestal. I think this is the first time I want to go. No, I still want to go to the closest one. I hope that's right. Yes, okay. Here's where I want to go to the furthest one. Now, there's a room here. I'm going to ignore it. I actually don't think there's anything in there worth anything. But if there is, I'll come back to all these dungeons if I actually manage to get through. This time I want to go to the furthest pedestal, which is this one, which should take me here. All right, and this is the last level. This is as far as you need to go, but this is a dangerous level. There's probably going to be some fights here that might be bad. Okay, so mummies. Okay, so I get to go first here. So I could just run. Should I run? See, the thing is, I'm really close to leveling up, and I probably could use a level up before I fight the main boss in this level. And this is a fight I should be able to win, but these guys can also turn me, I think they can turn me to stone, and that would be really bad. But I'm going to risk it just because I get to go first. If I can take them all out before they go, this will probably level up all my characters. There's very low risk. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Okay, we should be good now. There we go. So I think the earliest I've ever done this is like 12 or 13. So I'm doing well here to have gotten to this point at this stage of the game. So we're going to use our heal potions here to get everybody back to their new max. Hopefully I'll be able to get through. Now there's a fight here I have to fight. I can't do anything about it. Which isn't great. But only one of these guys isn't terrible. I think they can do multi-attacks. Oh, yeah. So that would be bad. Hopefully I'll take it out. But I actually have to fight this one twice if I want what's in the treasure chest. Normally I would bypass all the treasure chests and just come back around. But because this is the last floor and they're actually kind of on the way, I'm going to risk it and just try to get them all. Whew. Okay. Luckily, that creature decided to spread its attacks out. That was a tougher fight than I thought. I'm really glad it was just one of them. I probably wouldn't have survived two. So we're going to get what's in the chest here. And this is the heal staff. So the game fundamentally changes at this point because I now have items that can cast spells for me. And basically that means I have a lot more versatility in my magic because rather than having to have my white mage and white wizard cast healing spells all the time, I can have them use the items. These only work in combat, so I can't like rest and use these. But like if my white wizard, white mage doesn't do a lot of damage. So when we're in a fight, rather than have that character attack or use magic, I can just have her use the heal staff over and over again, which is very cool. And in a couple minutes, I'm going to get an item that kind of does the same thing, except it's an attack item. And I give that to my black wizard, black mage. So then I'm able to cast offensive and defensive magic without, see, this is what I didn't want to have happen. Okay, so I'm going to use a heal staff, just precautionary. And I'm going to have to use, I don't know what, I use ice. Hopefully this will, unfortunately Wanda went first, so that doesn't really get the full effect. Okay, all right. Come on. All right. Okay, that's good. So we'll do this, fight, item, heal again, and then just fight. All right. Yeah. Now, hopefully Wanda will actually get to go again before I take the creature out. So I get the benefit of a heal spell, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of like 15 to 20 hit points each time. It's not crazy powerful, but it's quote unquote free healing. So, that's good. I'm not going to level up again, am I? No. Okay. All right. I'm almost out of heal potions. I apparently should have bought some more of those. I believe that's the only other fight I have to fight other than the main one at the end. Okay, that's a gold bracelet. That is a very powerful item. I'm going to go ahead and give that to my black belt, my fighter, or black belt, my monk, I guess. mages can use it as well, but he's going to get attacked more than they are. This weapon, the ice sword, is one of the better swords in actually the entire game. I'll be using it for quite a while. So we definitely want to get everybody. So trade that. Nope. There we go. As we go, I want to try to keep getting everybody equipped so that they'll be ready. Okay, chance to fight first. I'm going to run because these red gargoyles are no joke. They can all cast Blaze 2, which is basically Fire 2. They don't take a lot, or they have a high defense, and they deal a lot of damage, so we don't want that. Here we go. The Zeus Gauntlet is the item. It's a piece of armor that will cast, I believe it's like Lit 2. So we want to give that to Loki. So now I can cast healing and attack spells for no spell point cost. All right, here we go. Here's the final battle. Make sure I'm good to go. All right, this has honestly been just about picture perfect, so I'm going to regret this now. Excuse me. Because I've gotten through this relatively easy and relatively unscathed. This is the final boss. Oh, sorry. So it's a rat tail. It's kind of like a little joke. That's what is the proof of courage. So here is the final boss, and it is zombie dragons. So zombie dragons, bad. Luckily, they are affected by harm spells because they're undead. So a fire 3 and a harm 3 should do some major damage to them. So hopefully that'll be enough to take them out. Whew, that's bad because now my fire spell doesn't get to go. So that could be bad. Magic, try this again. There we go, okay. Take that one out. Take that one out, perfect. Okay, again, Ron just about could not have asked for a better run in this dungeon. Once I'm here, there's no danger. There's no monsters attack on this level. So once I get outside, I can save my progress. And I'm going to take the W and go home. So I'm going to use a house, which heals me up, gives me all my spells back. And I'm going to just go ahead and call it there. Kind of a shorter session today, but my kids only have so much time before they're going to start going crazy and they need the computer again. So I'm happy to have gotten in a little bit of streaming. And if you are watching now or in the near future, later tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, so roughly 10 hours from now, Tom and hopefully myself, along with a couple other of our compatriots, are going to be playing some Jackbox games on our stream live tonight. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, join us for that as well. But thank you for joining me now, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.